Good morning, Modern Steaders. I decided to water the greenhouse first thing this morning. The drip irrigation's been running for about an hour and a half now. I think I turned it on about 5 a.m. It's a little, actually it's been almost 2 hours. So, let's see how it is. It's supposed to be cloudy all day today and not get too warm. So we're gonna keep the doors shut completely today. Yeah. It's only 50 degrees in here right now, so we'll keep it shut. Everything looks watered nicely. We got some dew on the tomatoes, which is nice. Yeah, looks like we got a good even water on everything. Some of you recommended that I try watering in the morning versus at night, so I figured we'd give it a try and see what happens. Some of our carrots are starting to sprout. I took the cardboard off of them last night. Olivia's garden's starting to pop up. We got some seed starts here. We got another tray over there. Everything is looking good. Good morning, meat birds. You guys are getting huge already. It's amazing how fast these little critters grow. I sure am looking forward to having one of these chickens roasted on the pellet grill. Oh, a whole chicken cooked on the pellet grill. Delicious. Can't wait. When it comes to food and eating, these meat birds are more aggressive than pigs. That's all they want to do, and if you leave food out in front of them all the time, they'll eat too much and kill themselves by overeating. So you have to ration their feed. So first thing in the morning when we give them the fresh feed for the day, man, they just gorge on it. And it looks like we've been starving them, but they've had grain all day long, and they've had fresh grass all day and all night long to eat. So they have plenty of food, but man, it's just bread in them to eat 24/7. Come on, Pluto. It's a gloomy out today.
Overcast.
Overcast all day today. No rain.
All day?
Yeah, all day. It's only supposed to be in the 60s and overcast.
I guess I'm weeding.
Alright, I'm gonna go feed NYC. I'll meet you at the barn. You ladies ready? I'll put it right up on top of the compost pile for you. Yesterday we mowed a third of the pasture. The grass was really thick and lush over here, and the goats weren't eating it. Goats would rather have weeds and brambles, so this part of the pasture is really nice pasture grass, and the goats don't care for it. So they ate some of it, and then we mowed it down. So us mowing would be like having a cow, so we want to maintain it and keep it going, and then at some point maybe we'll be able to get a cow and have some really good grass in this whole pasture. So our goal is to have the goats keep maintaining and bringing this pasture back to life, because they're going to eat the weeds down and they're going to fertilize it with their poo and their pee. Figaro.
Oh, no.
Good morning, Willow.
You're not your turn yet. No. Good girl.
You girls would much rather walk in the fresh mowed grass than the tall grass, wouldn't you? we have Japanese knotweed over here, and the girls really enjoy eating it. This is how low it is. If the goats weren't eating it, this is how tall it would be. This is the neighbor's yard. So that's what it would be like, and this is how they're keeping it right now. So I'm curious to see over the next couple of years what happens to that Japanese knotweed. Will it keep growing, or are the goats going to keep eating it? Is that going to kill it and suppress it? I don't know. I'm curious to see, because the Japanese knotweed is a really invasive weed and it's really hard to get rid of. It'll be really cool to see if goats take care of it. You kiddos are noisy this morning. Why are you so noisy, huh? I know, Olivia's sleeping in again this morning. You just get me. I know, I'm not as much fun, am I? Your mamas will be back in a minute. Yes, they will. They'll be back out in a minute. Yes. I know, they'll be back out in a minute. They gotta finish getting milk, then they'll be over your way. Nora's waiting for you, Willow.
Waiting. No, not that way.
Wrong door.
You don't want to go down in the hay stall and hay bin?
She didn't waste no time getting in here, did she?
Yeah.
Her udder looks even bigger this morning. Holy moly. You ate all that food already, you piggy? You piggy. Keep your head down. There you go. Ever since we brought Hope to visit you, Zeke, you've been noisy since. I don't like it. Shh. Shh.
Might be almost done.
Your babies are noisy this morning, Buttercup. They're waiting for you. Yeah, they're noisy out there. Your babies are calling you. You hear them?
Oh my goodness.
Watch out, Mom.
my
Here they come. No rest for you there, Buttercup, huh? Good morning, pigs. I'd almost forgot to feed you. I know. It would have been a crime. Here, let's go over here. Oh, I see you girls made yourself a nice little mud hole, huh? Yeah. Here, we'll feed you right there. There you go. It's pretty wet all throughout here, so they're smart. They made themselves one little mud wallow so far. You ladies still full from that treat I gave you yesterday? I'd forgotten to bring you guys down when I gave the pigs the treat yesterday afternoon. I have one more box to give them. So when I do that today, hopefully I remember. We gotta bring this up above. When it comes time to harvest our chickens, I like to compost our feathers and all the guts and everything on site, and I usually do it in our big pile of wood chips, but that's already all composted now. So for the next few weeks, I'm gonna start dumping the goat manure wood shavings in here. And the reason why I like using wood shavings or wood chips is a lot of carbon. So when you're composting up all of your feathers and your guts, this is gonna get really hot and all the carbon in here is gonna absorb the smell, so you won't smell anything. It's pretty amazing that you can compost everything right here with no smell. You just gotta make sure you have enough carbon to absorb everything. Oh boy, does it feel nice. We're gonna be working in the workshop today. Haven't done any woodworking in a little while. So we're gonna be building another chicken coop. We built this chicken coop slash chick brooder this winter and it's working awesome. I planned on dragging it around that pasture, but this year we are raising a lot more meat birds. So we're gonna need the chick brooder all summer long. So that means we need to leave it here so we can plug an extension cord into it and use our heat lamps for the baby chicks. Now we need a different chicken coop to get Rusty and his new ladies out on pasture over here, and it's really rough. So I can't use New York City because moving New York City on rough terrain is pretty sketchy. It's good for smooth pasture, but when you get rough, like that pasture is, yeah, it's kind of scary. So we're not doing that. We're gonna make Justin Rhodes's chickshaw, but we're gonna do a couple of modifications to it. So the other day, I picked up some of our supplies here. I got more in the barn, and some of the stuff I had to order, and it's not here yet. With everything going on right now in the world, everything is so messed up. Shipping, logistics. Shipping and logistics is the same, you're right. Supplies is just all over the place. So hopefully the other parts that I need will show up today, tomorrow, the next day. I don't know, but they're an important part, so hopefully they show up soon. Today we're gonna start working on it. So I'm going with tin. This is what our local Lowe's had. They had the tin available and not enough plastic tin, and they were this Rusty. It was the same price for this tin, and this tin weighs, believe it or not, almost the same as the plastic PVC roof. It's really thin tin, so I'm not worried about adding extra weight to the chicken coop. I'm gonna get some of that lumber brought in, and then I'll be right back. So Justin has made some really good plans for his chickshaw. He was gracious enough to give me a link to share with you guys. So I'm gonna put a link in the video description down below. The modifications that I make to it will not be in the plans because there's something I'm gonna do. If you don't know who Justin Rhodes is, I'm gonna have a link in the video description down below to go check out his channel. Either way, go check out his channel. Tell him that everybody over at Lumnah Acres said hi, and thanks for sharing your plans with us. So I'm excited to build this coop. It's a new style. We've never had a coop like this on our homestead. So now we're gonna have 3, 4 different styles. So it's always fun to see and compare which ones work best, and it gives you ideas of what works for your climate. So we are using spruce and fir for our 2x4s. Justin uses cedar on his. Our Lowe's does not stock 2x4s made out of cedar. So this is what we got. The plans come with some really good step-by-step directions. Boom, boom. And photos, I'm gonna go through, I'm gonna cut a bunch of my 2x4s to length, which is right here. Let's go right here. We need to cut 2 of them down to 6 feet. Get our shadow. And we're gonna set our scraps aside because we're gonna be using these later on. Set everything aside the way we cut it, so when we go to use it, we know right where it is. Keep it organized. All right, now we're gonna cut 2 down to 5 feet 9 inches. So 69 inches, 5'9". Now, if you're watching this, Jonah, and I mess up, let me know. You've built a few of these. I've never built this style chicken coop before. All right, so this is our 5'9". So let's do this. 5'9". 72. All right, now I need to take our 27-inch long pieces, cut 45-degree angles on them this way down to 18 inches and a quarter. Let's do this. 5. Boom. Need one of my crates. So 18 and a quarter. 18 and a quarter. We'll mark these and set them aside. This way we know when we need everything, we can just grab it. I'm gonna try to stay super organized on this build. It'll go a lot quicker when we start assembling. Right here it's talking about cutting some 2x4s for our legs. I'm gonna skip this part right here because that's one thing I'm gonna modify. So I'm not gonna do that part, but I need to cut 2 2x4s to 5 feet 4 inches. Now we need to rip 11 2x4s down to 2x2s, 1 3/4 by 1 3/4 is what it's gonna end up being. So we can make all of this. So first, let's get a bunch of these ripped down. Set up our shop vac dust collection system right on our table saw. Keep the dust down. All right, let's get the party started. Woohoo! Got our height. Just emptied this bucket right before we started, so I'm curious to see how much sawdust we have. We got about half a bucket full. That's quite a bit. That'll go good in the compost pile. Now we're gonna start with our longest pieces and go to our shortest pieces. We need quite a few. We need 2, 9, 7, 1, 1, 2. Yeah, that's quite a few. All right, I'm gonna get to cutting. Now we can start using up some of our scraps. I like when that happens. We need 2 of them at 32 3/4. So far, this is all we have left over. Bam. which is nice. If I mess anything up, we have a couple of pieces of 2x2. We have all of our pre-cut stuff here. And then a little bit right here on the table saw. Now I need to go ahead and cut my tin down and get that all pre-cut too while we're cutting everything today. So we need 3 of them cut at 6 feet. It's either 3 or 4 inches will look. So we're gonna set one aside. We might have bought one too many. It called for 8-foot sheets and I could only get 12-foot sheets, and I wanted to make sure I didn't run out. It calls for 5 8-foot sheets. So I got 4 12-foot sheets. I'd rather have leftover than not enough. So 76 inches, 6 feet 4. Good, it falls right in the crack. I am using a metal cutting blade on our circular saw. Used it quite a few times, but we got enough left. So easy. No way, that's perfect. Then we'll have 16 inches left over. So we'll only be short one piece. We're going to cut that out of our full length 12-footer. Alright, then we're going to pre-cut this at 10 on each side. We're going to cut it the long way, and then we'll go across the top and cut it that way. I think that'll be the easiest way to do this cut. Boom. Boom. Alright, so now we have all of our tin pre-cut too for the build. Gotta stick this on top of the tin so it doesn't blow away. I think going ahead and taking the time and pre-cutting everything down at the same time, it's going to save us a lot of time. If you don't have a table saw, if you don't want to rip down your 2x4s into 1 3/4 by 1 1/2, they do actually sell them at our local Lowe's, this dimension. They're more money. I don't know if they're more money, but they're at least the same price as a regular 2x4. So you're going to end up spending more money, because if you do it yourself, you can get 2 for the price of 1, basically. So, but if you want to build a coop like this, and you don't have the means to rip it down, you can buy it already cut for you. But I am looking forward to getting this built. We're going to start assembling it tomorrow. So I'm glad I took the time today. There'll only be one day of you guys watching me cut. You won't have to spend 2 or 3 days watching me cut. So hopefully we can get this done in 2 parts, maybe 3. We'll have to wait and see. I'm hoping tonight the other 2 things I ordered show up. We'll have to wait and see. Let's go check in on Gina and see how she's doing in the garden.
It's a dreary day out, a little bit chilly. I'm going to hang out in the greenhouse. where it's warm and weed. I am going to at least start by hand weeding because I really enjoy doing that. Maybe I'll use some tools after, but the weeds are really small, so I'm just gonna weed and just take my time and enjoy all this. I'm kind of surprised about all the little weeds that have grown up in this mulch, because really there's not been too many weeds in these beds yet. We do plan when the plants get established that we're going to go ahead and mulch with compost and everything too.
I've never known a love so steady. Even gold.
Looks like we have a couple plants that have some insect true holes, so we'll have to look into that. I was just looking, I'll talk to Al, maybe we'll plant some oregano or thyme or something in between, and that maybe will help. It had only done some of the plants, but we don't want them to ruin our harvest, so we'll have to, if you have any suggestions, leave them in the comments below.
When you're tired, we flow together like an ocean. Every low and every high. And I would have you anyway, dear. Any way your heart could bear. Even if you had to leave me, I'd always be waiting here. Even when we are apart, I will keep you in my heart. And I wouldn't change a thing, even if I were the king. I've never known a brighter sunset, but every day I see it rise. I never thought.
When Gina was in here earlier, she noticed that our tomato plants needed to start getting trellised. So I came in here and I've hung some of our trellises up, and I'm hanging them up while we're here for our cucumbers. They're not ready to get trellised yet, but this way I don't have to get the ladder back over here to hang the trellises. Let me show you what we're using for our trellis. We're using this roller hook from Johnny's Seeds. It's got a lock mechanism right here, so we can unspool it and reel it back up if we need to. It won't come down. So I start by getting the string loose. Some of them are a little tight. There we go. And then you just push this lever in right here, and it free spools it. The reason for this style trellis is so if we want to lower our tomatoes once they get all the way to the top, we can lower this and then sag the tomato plants. It's easier to show you, but we won't be showing that for a while. But this way we can bend the tomato plant and let it grow higher up. We can get more tomatoes. So let me get up there and I'll show you how we're doing it. And then I'll show you how we're going to attach them to our plants. It's a really slick setup. Attaching them to our cable. And then I'm making sure our string is long enough to reach the plant. And if I need to, I can roll it up a little bit. Bam. Or if I need to roll it down, I just push that in, pull it down, and then it locks in place. So I'm gonna go grab a few more and we'll get this done. Let's see if that one's long enough. Oh yeah, that's long enough. I've just been grabbing a bag, putting 6 in at a time. 2, 4, 6. And then I tuck it in my belt. And I got a nice little pocket. All in all, we have 34 tomato plants, and we got cucumbers. I don't know how many cucumber plants we have. Let's count. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20. 22, 24. That'll do. Then we're going to be using these little tiny trellis clips. We're going to put the rope right here. And then this goes around the tomato, I'll show you. But the nice part is when the rope goes in here, right in here, it pinches it so it can't move on the rope. I'll bring you over and I'll show you. So I'm going to take my string, I'm going to pull it taut because we want tension on the line. And I'm going to put it right down here below a crotch of one of the leaves. I'm going to put the rope inside here and then pinch it, and bam, it's got a little tension on it. And we're not going to weave our plant. As the plant grows up, we'll do more clips, boom, or every foot as the plant grows higher and higher. I'll show you on this one again. Pull it taut, get it down low at the base. Boom. Alright, we're going to use the GoPro right now and see if this view gives you a better sense of what we're doing. So we got some sucker growth here. I want to pull that off. So the first place we can go is right here by this leaf. So I want to stick this rope down in here, and that pinches it. Boom. So let's get some tension on it. Right by this leaf. Boom. And then it's got some tension on it. I like that. Boom. I'm going to continue working my way down the line. And I'm going to be pulling off any sucker growth, which I call these sucker growths. They grow right here in the middle of the branch and the main base. I just pull those out. We don't want those. I like it too because as we're working down the line, we're pulling these strings nice and taut. And it looks nicer. Another nice thing about these clips and rails is they're reusable. These clips, if you close them on the string, they stay in place, but you can just push that little tab right there and you can reuse them for a few years. Same with the rails, they're rated for at least 3 years. And then after that, you just got to replace your nylon twine. Bam! Looking good. Making me hungry for a BLT. Let's see if the cucumbers are too small to trellis. That'll work. There's a couple of smaller cucumbers we weren't able to trellis yet, but we'll leave the strings here. When the plant gets a little bit bigger, like this size, we were able to do all of the tomatoes, and we had one cucumber that didn't take, so we'll have to plant a seed there, and we'll leave this trellis here so we know that we have a plant growing up right there. Well, it's been a good day here. We got a lot accomplished. I'm excited to see that the tomatoes already need to be trellised and some of the cucumbers do too. This is where we're going to end today's video. If you guys want to watch another fun one, believe it or not, it wasn't that long ago that we were building this greenhouse. We were standing up the bows in a snowstorm. That was probably about a month ago. I'm going to link that video right here. Go check it out. Thanks for watching. Thanks for coming along on our homesteading journey with us, guys. You're a huge blessing to us in our homestead. And we'll see you right back here in the next video at Lumnah Acres.